Come.
Welcome back to another special video edition of Here They Come. I'm Kate Lockhart.
And I'm Paul Ramlow.
And this week we're going to be taking a look at the Hambletonian eliminations that happened this past weekend and previewing the upcoming Hambletonian final.
Yeah, 3 eliminations this past Saturday night at Meadowlands Racetrack. Some very exciting finishes, Kate. Let's start off with the first elimination where Pilgrim's Taj came up with his first big win as a 3-year-old, last year's Juvenile Breeders' Crown champion. Newly in the Tron Smetshammer barn, one for driver Mike Lachance and 153-3. Also qualifying for the final out of this elimination were Muscle Massive and Hard Livin'.
This was hands down the most exciting finish of the 3 eliminations. It really was a close one at the end. Pilgrim's Taj just managed to get up and nip both Muscle Massive and Hard Living at the wire. It'll be interesting to see how much the horse continues to improve after another week in Tron's barn. But it looks like he's back on track and looking for big things from him in the final. Absolutely,
and Muscle Massive on Hard Livin', part of the 3-horse Jimmy Takter entry that you will have in this Saturday's Hambletonian final. Muscle Massive looked very good as well. I think he'll be a factor in Saturday's race as well. And for more on the first elimination, let's go to these interview clips with trainer Tron Smetshammer and driver Mike Lachance.
What did you think of his performance tonight?
It was okay. You know, they worked out great. They got a good trip, and Mike didn't have to, push him too hard. But, I'm sure both the horse and the driver has lost their confidence a little bit, which you could see a little bit. Mike was even, didn't know what to expect. So I'm sure when they start getting their confidence back, both of them, it's going to get better.
I think when I sat behind him to train him on Saturday, I had a different horse in front of me.
You felt the difference?
And tonight he was just as good as when I trained him on Saturday, and I'm just assuming that he could even get him better by next week.
The second elimination, Paul, featured 2 of the big contenders for this weekend's final, Holiday Road and Lucky Chucky. Holiday Road went to the front and led through the 3 quarters, Lucky Chucky coming first over. Finally got to him in the stretch and looked pretty good doing it. He's a horse I'm going to look for on Saturday to be big in the final.
Yeah, Lucky Chucky was last year's Juvenile Champion Dan Patch Award winner. This was his first win of 2010. Raced very well. 2 great horses coming down the stretch, Holiday Road and Lucky Chucky. A mystery photo out of the Julie Miller barn got a piece of the action as well, finishing second, just defeating Holiday Road at the wire in that place photo. It should be a very interesting battle between these 2 horses, Lucky Chucky and Holiday Road. Like you said, they were probably the pre-race favorites coming into the eliminations, and I still think they are among the favorites on Saturday. It'll be very exciting. Chuck Sylvester, John Campbell, the connections with Lucky Chucky, they've won quite a few Hambletonians over the course of history. This could be another one for them.
And here with more on Lucky Chucky is John Campbell and trainer Chuck Sylvester.
Well, I think he's got a good chance. I mean, he's going to have a good post position. I think, he's going to race just as well or even better next week because he's going to be a little bit more fit. So, I mean, Chucky's plan to have him pointed for the Hambletonian so far has worked to perfection.
What we aim to do, we didn't want to, last year he come a lot of times first up and used him hard, and all winter we practiced of setting him in, and wanting him to race him behind. So.
Third elimination, Kate, turned out to be the fastest of the 3 as Cassis for driver Tim Tetrick. Trainer Ray Schnitker won in 152-4. Cassis took over the lead from Temple of Doom at the half-mile marker and went on to the victory. Ironically, he was the only horse that won on the front end of the 6 eliminations, 3 for the Hambletonian Oaks and 3 for the Hambletonian on Saturday. Cassis, an interesting horse, set the all-age track record at Goshen Historic Track a few weeks ago for a track that's been open forever, it seems like. He's kind of a little bit off the radar, but looks to be the real deal coming into the Hambletonian final. And Temple of Doom finished second. Wishing Stone came on for third, and also qualifying for the final out of this elimination was a Yonkers Trot champion On the Tab, who finished fourth. On the Tab, the third member of the Jimmy Takter trio coming into the Hambletonian final.
Yeah, it was interesting, Paul. Cassis has been raced quite a bit this year. I believe he's had 10 starts, and which seems to be more than a lot of the Hambletonian horses we've seen the past couple of years. So I'll be curious to see if he can keep his form through another week.
Yeah, and the thing that's kind of interesting, Ray Schnitker, of course, had Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe winning the Hambletonian a couple of years ago, but Ray was the driver of the horse, and now he has Timmy Tetrick in the sulky, so that adds a little bit of a different dynamic to the effect of this particular race. And speaking of Ray Schnitker, we have post-race interviews with him coming up right now.
Yeah, he's getting stronger. You know, he's really, like I said, he's just a nice horse. I guess he gets a little spoiled after having Dewey, but he's very, very good horse.
How do you compare his gait to the other trotters you've trained?
He's really natural going. He's probably better. The aluminum shoes made him go lower. He's real clean gait. I mean, he probably could have won in Goshen 54 that day. So, you know, hopefully, you know, everything goes good next week and we get a real good chance.
Here are the speed ratings for the 10 colts who qualified for this week's Hambletonian final. Speed ratings, which are provided by TrackMaster, are considered official by the USTA.
At TrackMaster, it's all about winning. Powerful handicapping products built on official USTA data help you be the best horse player you can be. And free services such as StatsMaster and the Virtual Stable also put the odds in your favor. The winning starts at TrackMaster.com.
Well, Paul, this is the first time in a while we've had a Hambletonian final that appears to be wide open. The past 3 years we've had Muscle Hill, Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, and Donato Hanover, all prohibitive favorites in their respective races. And it'll be interesting to see what happens this Saturday, as there are a couple of contenders who really could get it done.
Yeah, I really think there's half a dozen horses that have a legitimate chance at winning this year's Hambletonian. But for my own personal selection, I think I'm going to go with Lucky Chucky. I think he's rounding into form. He raced very well as a 2-year-old. John Campbell, Chuck Sylvester know how to win the big race. I just really think this is going to be Lucky Chucky's week.
Well, we'll see. All right, well, that wraps up this week's episode of Here They Come. I'd like to thank Ken Weingartner for getting our interviews. Also like to thank Rich Johnston, our producer, and TJ Burkett for helping us out with filming this week. Be sure to tune in next week when Ion Harness Racing returns with John Pavlak. And also stay tuned to ustrotting.com this week as we offer extensive, exclusive coverage of the Hambletonian final.
I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Kate Lockhart.
Join us again next time for a special edition of Here They Come.